Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down so I can get through this video. Welcome to my YouTube. My name is Ezene, the CEO. You can call me Ezene, you can call me Ez, whatever floats your boat. So this is, I would say, officially my first YouTube video. A little bit about me. I've been doing makeup officially 4 years, unofficially I would say about maybe 7 to 8 years. Right, so I launched my brand November 2021. I've been traveling all over the world, doing things, meeting people, being trained in the beauty sector. It's time for YouTube to get to know this face. This is gonna be a beginner's makeup tutorial, right? Beginner's makeup tutorial. So I'm gonna show you guys like the basics of makeup. It's really simple. I believe I have the grace to simplify beauty. It doesn't have to be complicated. So this is me with a bare face. I haven't put anything on yet because I want you guys to see how it goes from beginning to end, literally every step. I have like a band on because like I'm trying to, lay my hair down. Things first, when you're starting your makeup, you want to start with a clean face. Clean means washed, free of makeup, free of any eyeliner from the day before, mascara, product, foundation, concealer, anything that is on your face has to come off. This is the CeraVe Hydrating Toner. You can find that in any drugstore, Walmart, etc. And I have a cotton round or a cotton pad. Put that on the cotton pad, just dab, or you can wipe if you want. To know if your skin is really clean, the cotton pad should come up clear. Like there should be nothing on there, no mascara, no eyebrow product. It should be coming up clean. Gonna moisturize our face and our lips. Ordinary, it's a squalene lip balm. You do not want to be doing your makeup with dry lips, especially at the end when you go to put on your lip product. You want there to be some product on your lip. For my moisturizer and primer, I'll go in with the Embryolisse. This is the Embryolisse. It is a moisturizer and a primer at the same time. So this moisturizer primer it just leaves your skin just looking juicy, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I get the moisturizer underneath my eyes as well, because you don't want to have like a dry under eye when you're putting your concealer on, okay? Sorry, I keep like looking at two different sides of the camera. Bear with me, guys. Like my first official recording. Brow gel. So my brow gel is gonna go up on, and what I'm doing is I'm making sure that my brow hairs are swept up and away from my face. So you're sweeping up and away. And the reason why you're doing that, number one, when you put the eyebrow gel on your eyebrows, what it's doing is laying the brow hairs down. Some people like to do it after they put the brow product on, but me personally, I like to do it before. Why you're going to put it on up and away is so that you are able to see your brow bone. That's what's going to help you get that arched brow look and leave your brow snatched. Now keep in mind that when you put that product on, your moisturizer and your brow gel, you just wanted to let it dry down a little bit, especially the brow gel, because you don't want to put any pomade or a brow pencil right after, okay? Because it's still wet. You just want it to get dried down, because remember, the purpose of putting the brow gel on was to lay your brows down. So you need to give it a chance to do that. This is a brow pencil. I got like 2 for $1 or like $1 and some change from Temu actually. And this is one of the best brow pencils I've ever used. You don't really need an expensive brow pencil. Anastasia Beverly Hills is really good, but in my opinion, you can go for like a LA Girl Pro brow pencil or any other brow pencil from the drugstore. It really doesn't need to be that expensive. Brow pomade, on the other hand, I do use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade. You're gonna see me fill in my brow starting from the mid towards the end, and then I go to the front. The reason being that you don't want to use too much lining or product in the front of your brow. That's what gives people that boxy brow look that is just it does not look good at all. When there's so much product in the front of your brow, it just doesn't define the brows well. We have to remember that makeup is to enhance your features and not take away or distract. So your makeup shouldn't be looking away that's making people go like, it should mimic like what a natural face already looks like. Even if it's full glam, it shouldn't look scary. Filling in the spaces where it's like I'm lacking brow hair. So then when I get to the front part of my brow, what I really like to do is take the pencil and more so fill out the bottom part of my brow. And then I'll do little flickers in the front, because again, you don't want your brow hairs to look too heavy. If my brows are registering a little gray on camera, I personally kind of like that look, like a lighter brow look. You can match your brow pencil and brow pomade to look exactly the color of your brow hairs. When it comes to the pomade, what I'm using is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade, and then I'm going to get like a small angled brush just like this, and I'm going to use that for my pomade and put the pomade. It's going to go on towards the middle, towards the end. You don't want to put brow pomade in the front of your brow. Okay, it's going to make your brows look way too heavy and boxy like we talked about. Do not pack product on your brush. And this just gives me fuller brows. Get the tail end, and as you can see, I'm being very sparse with it. I have another flat angled brush. Now this brush is way flatter than the first one. My brow concealer, I'm a loyal LA Girl Pro Conceal fan. I used to use it for like my under eye concealer too, but now I just use it for my brows because it gets the job done. Now this one actually has like a little bit of an orange undertone. This is the color Suede, and the reason why I personally do that is because my eyelids have a little bit of hyperpigmentation, and so the orange undertone in this is going to help me balance that out. Just put this concealer on the back of my hand, and I don't use too much. I take my flat brush, put it on there like that, and then again, I'm not going to start from the front of my brow, middle towards the back. And then when you get to the front, you want to use a very, very light hand in applying it so you're able to buff it out. Same thing with the other side. I will put the concealer all over my lid, so that's going to serve as my eyeshadow primer. When doing your eyeshadow, you don't want to just put eyeshadow on top of like your bare lid. I'll go in with kind of like a concealer eyeshadow brush, and I'll blend that out. After I've blended out my concealer on my lid, I'll go in with a translucent powder, a loose setting powder. So this is the Beauty Bakery powder. It's in the color Oat. I'm going to set that concealer that I just placed on my lid. The reason why you are going to set that concealer is because you don't want to put eyeshadow on top of wet concealer. So you need that set and locked into place so your eyeshadow is not going to move. Now, a lot of times you'll see ladies like to put like a white base. That's to bring out the color of the eyeshadow more. If you want to do that, you can as well. For a soft glam look, you don't really need to go too hard with the priming of the eyeshadow, but sometimes I will go in with like something that has a white base or even a white concealer. I'll put it like right here to really make sure that the color pops. And as a true soft glam girly, most of my eyeshadow palettes, Morphe 350, and recently Beauty Bakery just sent me their Chosen Bun eyeshadow palette. This is so me. Like, this is so me. Shout out to Beauty Bakery. Okay, you just want to keep it simple. 2-3 colors max, especially when you're just starting off. Don't go try to be doing double, triple cut creases when you're just learning how to do eyeshadow. This is what a beginner's eyeshadow palette should look like. The first brush I'm going to use, so this is just like a general fluffy brush, right? I'm going to go in with one of the darker colors, so probably something with a reddish undertone, and I'll probably mix it with something a little bit lighter like this. Now, I personally, I know everybody has their style, but I like to put the darker colors on the outside first and then work my way in, especially because I have bigger eyes. What I'll do is I'll tap these two in, tap off the excess, tap the eyeshadow in, and then blend it out. As I'm working my way in, that's when I'll go in with lighter colors, such as this, or any of these in this family. Another thing I like to do sometimes, I'll go in with like an orangey color, and I'm gonna put that like between kind of like where my brow and that first color is, and it just gives just a smoother transition. Also remember, as you're doing your eyeshadow, you don't want to bring it too high into the brow because you don't want to take off all that concealer and all that hard work that you just did in defining your brow. You'll see me going back and forth between the two brushes. That's really just how you're able to get the smoother transitions and your eyeshadow will just look flawless. I'll use a flatter brush and the Beauty Bakery palette, and I'm gonna use like that light color in the middle, a little bit of the one next to it as well. So I'm just gonna go in and really just press that in there. And I'm gonna press that into the front of my eye. I'm gonna go in again with my brushes, blend around. If you wanted this whiter, the lighter color to look more defined, what you would do is carve it out as a cut crease. So you would put concealer where you wanted to carve it out to bring more definition. Honestly, just about going back and forth with the colors until you get your desired look. One thing about doing eyeshadow first is you do look a little, because you haven't put on your foundation and your concealer and everything yet, but we're gonna get to that. If you noticed in the beginning when I did my brows, I did not carve out the top of my brows. The reason being is that when you put concealer, especially when it's lighter than your actual skin tone, it's gonna give you halo brows, right? And so I will go in with my foundation. This is the color Chai from Too Faced Born This Way. Honestly, I understand the light to medium coverage, but I'm really a full coverage foundation kind of girl. Like, I've been around long enough to make that decision. Okay, I'm gonna use that all over my face, and I'm gonna use it to carve out the top of my brow as well. So I'm blending this out, and as I blend, it's a more of a stippling motion. I'm not dragging because you don't want to leave streaks. So using that angled brush again from the beginning, I use the foundation to carve out the top of my brow. So I used the foundation that was on my forehead to carve out the top of my brow. And I know my foundation is looking a little right now, but trust the process. Trust the process. When it comes to makeup, trust the process. After I've blended with the brush, I am going to go in with a beauty blender. Now this is a pink beauty blender from, I believe it's called AOA Studios. One of the best, and I mean one of the best beauty blenders I have ever used. Okay, I use this on myself, on my clients, like, and when I use it on my clients, normally I give it to them to keep. It's like 6 in a pack for about $10 compared to the original beauty blender, which is 20 for one. Now listen, beauty on a budget. Blending with your beauty blender just gives a more airbrush look. The next step for me is gonna be bronzer and blush. Again, we're going for soft glam. It's a beginner's class, right? This is a beginner's video. Soft glam. You want your makeup to be looking airbrushed, and what I'm about to show y'all is a pro MUA top secret. William Tuttle Color Foundation Chocolate Cream. Can't be found at your Sephora or your Ulta, but this is foundation, but what it does as bronzer, like, out of this world. I prefer bronzer over contour. Bronzer is just warmer and it just makes you look sun-kissed, right? So I'm gonna take an angled brush just like this. I'm gonna go in with that bronzer. I'm placing that on my cheeks. So basically, like where the top of your ear would start is where you want to place your bronzer. So it's not too dark. It's just the perfect warm shade to bring back some dimensions to my cheek. Because once you've put that foundation on, it's like your face is all one color. And remember what I was saying, makeup is to enhance features. It's supposed to give the natural lights and dimensions of what a face already looks like, but better. Like it should look like you, but enhanced. So when you put on foundation, you've made your skin all one color, and nobody's face is naturally all one color. So what bronzer highlight is going to do is bring back the lights and dimensions to your face. I can do a little on my nose as well. Not too much, not too much. And with that same side of the beauty blender that I use for my foundation, you can use the other side, but actually what I plan on using this side for is the concealer. Blend, blend, blend. You're just gonna blend till it looks soft. You don't want to over blend so you don't take off all the product. What am I gonna do next? I'm gonna put on the blush. Now this step is really only if your bronzer and your blush is cream. The Fenty Cream Blush, and this is in the shade Daiquiri Dip. The butt end of my beauty blender is what I'm gonna dip into this, just like this. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the blush. That goes basically right on top of the bronzer. And to get that, I know you guys see the new trending blush snatch lifted look. So what I'm gonna do is I'm even gonna put it a little bit underneath my eye as well. I'll show you. What I like to do is go in, after I've done that, again, blending, you'll have to go a lot of back and forth just to get the achieved look. You wanna look flawless. You don't want any lines of demarcation, okay? So I am taking that blush a little bit underneath my eye too, but don't worry, once the concealer goes on, y'all gonna see it's not gonna look like I have a bunch of red underneath my eye. After the blush is on, then I'm gonna color correct underneath my eye. So I'm gonna take this flat brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going in with a cream concealer from BM Pro. This is in the shade Caramel, and I'll put that directly under my eye, looking up. It has an orange undertone. That's gonna help balance out the darkness, hyperpigmentation underneath my eyes. And on top of that is now when we put our lighter concealer. So using the clean end of my beauty blender, I'm looking up. And so I'm gonna look up to the ceiling and blend underneath my eye. And I'm keeping it in place. You don't want to move this concealer around too much. I'll take my Tarte concealer. This is in 47S Tan Deep Sand. Now I'm gonna highlight. Basically highlighting what's called the T-zone area. So it's gonna be forehead, down the bridge of my nose, underneath my eye, and maybe a little bit on my chin. If you want your nose to look more snatched and contoured, you're gonna bring it up closer to the bridge of your nose. This concealer is full coverage, so I don't need to use too much product. And to get the snatch lifted concealer look, this is the placement. This is the placement that it goes in. Personally, I don't like to put concealer over the top of my lip or in this area, especially if you have like mustache hairs. Putting concealer, especially a light concealer in this area, is going to make like that area just look gray. It's gonna highlight the mustache hairs and your makeup won't look that nice. Taking that concealer side of my beauty blender, I'm gonna blend this out, starting with my forehead. Tapping motions, tapping tapping motions. Then I like to go down the bridge of my nose. Blend out my chin. And to snatch my cheeks a little more, I will drag this up just a little bit. You can go all the way up if you want to, but you don't really have to. Now, before I blend out underneath my eyes, I do like to let it sit for a little bit so it can be more full coverage. If you know, you know. The Jackie Aina is the one that put me onto this trick years back. The trick to flawless under eyes. Come here. Come a little closer. I'm about to put y'all on. The trick to flawless, non-crease under eye makeup. Pressed powder first, and then we follow up with the loose powder. So before you even blended out your concealer, you want to get that pressed powder ready on your powder puff, because you're gonna have to set immediately after you blend it out. You're gonna lock it in place. Nigerian makeup brand Be Charm Cosmetics, and I'm taking their shades are not really labeled, so I'm gonna take this color first. I'm looking up, and I'm blending that concealer out again. That gives me the snatched look. And you can feel free to go back in with your beauty blender to reinforce your blush. While looking up, I set underneath my eye. Now this powder in particular looks a little bit orange, but that's where my loose powder is gonna come in, so don't worry. And doesn't Beauty Bakery have the cutest packaging, guys? It's like a little bag of flour. Taking my Beauty Bakery powder in the color cassava powder. Remove some of the excess on the back of my hand, and then I go in. I want to more so center the powder in the front of my face. Taking my foundation brush. I'm gonna take these two colors. This is the powder blush from Makeup Revolution. Top. And again, don't be scared to bring the blush closer to your eye. And also use your powder puff to carve out your cheeks. Morphe setting mist. Put that all over to really soak up the powder and give just more of a natural finish. Especially if you're wearing eyeshadow and you do not have eyeliner on, your eyes look empty. Like, with all this going on the top of my lid, if I don't put liner on the bottom, it is just not gonna look complete. Taking a black liner from LA Girl Pro and put this black liner on the top as well. The brush I'm using is actually a paintbrush that I repurposed as an eyeliner brush. Now you guys can see the difference in my eyes from before the eyeliner and right now. Again, I'm going to put that on the top. Eyeliner and mascara are two things that are going to make sure that your lashes look put together and cohesive with your natural lash. Bottom mascara is also another step that is completely optional, but again, to me, it does bring the look together. As you can see, the powder has really like melted into my face and everything is just looking. I am a brand ambassador for this company. just a by the way, Lily lashes, and these are the lashes. This is the style Mink Mikonos, and so they are full lashes, but I have pretty big eyes, so my eyes can handle this kind of lash. So when you take your lashes out of the box, you want to take it from the ends and not pull from the middle. You don't want to pull from the middle, because I have done that and completely ripped the lash hairs out, and right from the middle too. So I like to use a brush on lash glue, and I'll put that right on the band like that. I have worn these lashes before, but if you have a new pair of lashes, you just want to stretch the lash band so it's not as stiff and it can fit better on your eye. While my lash glue is drying, I'm gonna do lip. So I use a Wet n Wild. This is like a $1, actually it's like an eyeliner pencil that I use for my lip in the color Simma Brown. I'm gonna line the lip starting from the top, and because I have a little bit more of a defined cupid's bow, I'm gonna put the lip liner right on top of that. Line the bottom. Blend it out. Soft matte lip cream in the color Cairo. A MAC Hourglass Plumping Lip. I know this looks light, but as soon as I put the lip gloss on there, the lash glue has dried down. It's gonna just have like a clear appearance to it. So I'm gonna look down and put my lashes on. Can you guys see the difference a lash makes? Like, you see that? You see that, right? Yeah. You can go back in with the powder. Again, like I said, trust the process. Go back in and really just set anywhere that needs to be set. Now, because I have the band on my hair, I'm going to go back in with bronzer on my hairline. But this is a full look, you guys. So I think my cheeks already do have kind of a glow to them, but if you wanted to add highlight at this step, of course you can add highlight, your finishing touches, your inner corner highlight. But yeah, essentially this is my final look. That's what the eyeshadow looks like. Very presidential, very classy, very demure. And so thank you all for watching thus far. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, leave me feedback, tell me what you want to see next. Bye, see you in the next video.